Today we're building a side exit exhaust for the Panamera Turbo. Alright guys, so last time I showed you my new project car, and today we start work on the first mod, which of course is going to be making it much louder. So right now it has full stock exhaust and it is extremely quiet, and also these tips are pretty ugly in my opinion. So we're going to get rid of all of the stock exhaust, and I also have catless downpipes I'm going to install, and I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to bring out the exhaust yet, but I'm thinking somewhere on the side so that you can really hear the turbo spool up. That's the main idea with this exhaust, which is totally lacking right now. This thing basically sounds electric. So first off, we got to get this thing in the air and take off all of the stock exhaust and stock downpipes. Alright guys, so if you couldn't tell, we had a little change of plans. I decided not to remove the stock downpipes, and that's because basically there are 6 bolts on one side on the turbo and 5 on the other, and they are extremely hard to get to. So you can see straight ahead there's 1 bolt right there, and then there's 1 other one below it. So I took those 2 out, which are the easiest to get to. The second one I started to take out, it started to screw up the threads because of the rust that was on the nut. So basically I was really worried about breaking one of the studs on the turbo, because if I do that, I pretty much would need to drop the entire engine and transmission out of the car to repair that. So I was 2 bolts in out of 11, and I was like, this is gonna end really badly for me. So I decided to just leave it in. I put those 2 bolts back in. And so what I did was I actually just cut the downpipes basically in half. So right here after the cats. So there was another section that went down to this area. So I cut that section off because that way I could use, actually this is the factory clamp that attaches the exhaust. So that works right there on that 2.5-inch pipe coming out of the cat. So I could use that to build from there. That way I don't need to take the downpipes off, and I don't need to actually weld to the stock downpipes either. So, but then the issue is I still have stock downpipes with the stock cats. So as you saw, I spent a lot of time drilling them out, and I've never tried to do that before. And judging by online, it seems like some cars it's pretty easy. The cat material just breaks up and comes out, and it's like a ceramic. On this car, unfortunately, it's really long, so there's basically 2 stages of it, and the bottom part is more of just a metal honeycomb. I don't know if it was stainless steel, but something pretty tough and hard honeycomb at the bottom. So you have to get through all of that first before you get up to the more brittle section. That's like the first part of the cat, was the ceramic part. So once I got through that bottom section, the top was actually really easy to break up, but the bottom took a really long time. I think I spent over $200 in different drill bits, really long, like 12-inch, 18-inch long drill bits. Because the problem was I really only had this hole to access it. So it was really hard to get like the right angle to be drilling up through there. But I can say I was successful. As you can see, it is completely cleared out now, both sides. So now I do have catless stock downpipes. And then once I had that all finished up, I could get to building. So here is what I built. The exhaust out each side. So we've got, this is the left, and then that's the right. So it was pretty important to me to get this to exit as far forward as I could, basically right behind the front wheel here, because I didn't want it to be back here, because then it would basically be right under the window, and you get a lot of fumes, especially at idle. So the goal here was to minimize the fumes in the cabin. So it's gonna be exiting right under the side skirt, and hopefully the fumes will go up when you're idling, and then as you're driving, hopefully go right past the window. But the main idea was to tuck it up as much as I could. Ideally, I wanted to go right through the side skirt, but unfortunately the unibody is like right behind there. So there's a pinch weld right behind here, and then it's like solid unibody there. So it's not impossible, but it would take a lot of cutting. So for now, I just wanted to try it out and see what the sound was like, see how the fumes are, see if it's way too annoying to be coming out right there before I do build it into the car. If I want to keep it here, the goal would to be somehow incorporate it more into the body so it looks a little cleaner, but for now, it's gonna exit right under the side skirt. So now I've got these all fully welded up, so they are ready to go, but before I install them, I need to do some heat management because it is going right under the car there where it's not really supposed to be. So what I've got is some exhaust wrap here, so I'm gonna wrap both of them. And then I've also got this heat shielding material. I think I'm gonna put the heat shield right on the exhaust and wrap it on there as opposed to putting it on the car. So that way I basically have 2 layers of protection so that I'm not burning any of this. Basically it's just plastic under here, and then this undercarriage cover. So I did behind here, there were some wires and the air lines that I did use some of the gold tape on before I even closed this back up. So I think with those 2 layers, I should be good to go. So I'm gonna get that wrapped up, and then we can get it on the car and see how it sounds.
What's that? What is... That's pretty low.
We're gonna have to start it. Unless it's leaking.
Yeah, it sounds like a leak.
All right, so as you guys saw, right when we put the car down, after the exhaust was done, the bag started leaking, the front right bag in the car. So it leaked down, so we couldn't even test drive the car at all. So since then, I put 2 new bags in the front. I actually sent out the bags to get rebuilt. So I've got 2 rebuilt bags in the front. After that, I drove it like once, and then it started leaking somewhere in the rear. So I got a new compressor and valve block. I put just the new compressor in, and that seems to have solved the problem. Currently don't have any faults, so I think we're good for now. But yeah, so now finally we can take it for a test drive. Come on, you're not even.
All right, I'm ready.
You're not even gonna be able to hear it.
All right. What the heck? The turbo spool at like 1200.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically a tractor.
It quiets down.
It quiets down after a cold start, and now that we're outside, it's not as bad. It's pretty insane in the garage. Auto start.
Did you just stall it?
Auto
Are
start.
you serious? How do you stall a PDK?
First, all right, step 1, put it in sport mode so that auto starts
crazy.
off. Yeah, sport mode. All right, so auto start is already
Stalling
on.
a PDK is
Yeah,
crazy.
somehow. All right, so we're gonna just go drive. We're gonna go full manual.
Does the clutch appear?
The clutches, yeah, the clutch just came out of the floor. You can definitely hear the pulsing, like back and forth like crazy, because there's no crossover.
Stop.
It's kind of like a turbo diesel. I think it sounds like an old diesel tractor. What do you think? Oh, you like it?
I wish there's a camera on my face. What the heck?
I think the craziest thing is the downshift, because it rev matches.
Because putting around actually isn't bad.
Yeah, it's not like insane.
Now highway, well, 7 gears. It might not be bad.
It's pretty ridiculous.
That's stupid.
It just does not belong with this car at all.
No.
The sound. But you can like, I mean, obviously it rev matches, but then you can hear that it like holds it out of gear too until you're at the right spot, and then it like puts it back in. It's
Yeah.
pretty funny.
What the heck?
Like I said, it's basically a tractor.
Oh, that is bad. No way.
But yeah, you can notice everything happening way more with this, because you can hear everything happening, like in the transmission, and just like with the stock exhaust so quiet.
Yeah.
And this is like, I didn't even realize it rev matched like this, but dang, dude. It's just crazy because the sound is right next to you. You get like higher gears, it quiets down.
It's not that loud.
I mean, it's insane at wide open.
Yeah.
And it's cold start's insane,
Yeah.
but it's like somewhat doable.
You're gonna get kicked out of your apartment complex.
The downshift is just like, that's the thing, you can't be quiet with downshifts at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. Oh, they were. I wish I would have got them. I'm trying to get people.
Yeah, I'm sure like, what?
Oh, yeah, downshift.
They love it. It's pretty loud. They're
Wow.
wide open.
There's one.
Yeah, if you're high RPM and shift like that, wide open, you'll get a pop. I guess we can do a quick launch and see if we can still hear after it. I don't know if I've even really done a launch yet.
Wow. Wow. That's awesome.
I think I found a new position of the gas pedal.
Yeah?
And I think I remember reading about this. It's like you push it to the floor, but then it can actually go more.
Oh.
And I did, and I saw that the boost gauge lit up orange and had an arrow. So I guess this car does have the overboost function. I think that's what that means. That's interesting.
Huh.
Because you just gotta hit it more through the floor to go faster.
Is it like an extra click? Because that's how
you like
BMW
feel
is.
it. Yeah, I never really felt that before. But yeah, I'm like, oh, okay. So like normal driving, it's like... I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But also, the fumes are not bad.
I don't smell any.
I don't smell them at all, which is pretty surprising. Like, way better than the Mustang.